Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Kaiserreich. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to need that factory. March northwards. Bam. And by that I mean north to Paraguay. Anyways. We should probably focus on, like, this situation is not going to be to our advantage. Let's fall further back. We absolutely need to secure this one location. The answer appears to be no. May be holding. See if I go here. Anyways, meanwhile, we're attacking here, and I hope to. Nice. Fabrica Militar de Pulveras y Explosivos secure. After heavy fighting through the Palermo commune, we managed to push the anarchists out of the Recoleto commune. With the factories now safe and secure, we can focus our energies and push through the armories as reinforcements arrive. Every moment we waste is time lost for the defenders trapped in the Casa Rosata. We're starting to see their lines falter as the anarchists finally brought the artillery pieces captured capturing the Civil War. With the anarchists selling their positions, only a matter of time before they enter the Casa Rosata and fully execute their coup. If the Casa Rosata falls, neutral troops to the coup might stand down, might be alone to face the injustice. Onward, Companeros. Italia. Come on. Anti-socialist officers attacked Buenos Aires. The defeat of the old regime in Buenos Aires left many officers bitter and resentful of our glorious revolution. In response, cabal of these former officers that we were unable to capture after a victory was mobilized against us once more and attacked Buenos Aires with those men loyal to them. Still, along with a stockpile of old weapons and artillery, we were able to crush this reactionary rebellion, but not without a considerable loss of military and civilian human resources, along with sustaining damage to nearby industrial factory. When will the fighting end? That's a good question. Oh, nice. They didn't take Livorno back. That's good. Armory's devastated. Our trust to take the Fabrica Militar de Polvoras y Explosivos and preserve the valuable tooling materials there has come at a cost. We've suffered heavy losses to the anarchist militias who have realized their best move is to delay us. They decide to slowly withdraw from the armories near Centario before pounding the building with a concentrated barrage, razing it to the ground with whatever equipment they haven't already taken with them to the Puerto Madro. With that armory destroyed, however, not all is lost. Reinforcements led by Comrade Mansurova finally arrived from Tigre and Mar del Plata. With both Justo and Mansurova have begun preparing a plan of attack. Every precious hour wasted means more of our comrades dying at the Casa Rosada. Comrade Goldie still needs us. Oh, hey. More stuff. That's good. How are things going here? They're going all right. I feel like we're winning. Russia has, predictably, won in Central Asia. I've seen some people on Reddit talking about how that wasn't their experience. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen an organic victory in Central Asia. I might want to play Bukhara again. I'm getting tempted. Fall of Beijing! Surely China can only be united by the sword. Breaking the siege. Mansurova and Justo finished doing the preparations, and our troops are outfitted with equipment seized from the armories. Rather desperate radio transmission for the Casa Rosada has reached the outside forces, asked them to step in as quickly as possible. Artillery bombarders have begun in the area. As such, two plans have been drafted in order to try and help the encircled defenders. The first one is to do a diversionary attack of the Casa Rosada with a small group, leading attackers to believe we're aiming for a full breakthrough, while the bulk of our forces mobilized to the Plaza San Martin, where engineers believe artillery pieces should be. However, this plan is risky. We don't have confirmation the artillery is actually there, potentially wasting time the defenders don't have. The alternative is to launch a full assault on Casa Rosada's surroundings and try to open a way for our men to be evacuated. While Justo thinks it's possible for us to break through, the command has had to acknowledge the casualties would inevitably be high, as the anarchists still own the artillery pieces and likely attempt to do suppression barrages on our forces. Without much time left, a decision, however risky, must be made. Move towards the Plaza San Martin. A sneaky strategy, but perhaps a good one. I'm going to retreat to Florence. We're expanding the bureaucracy to the north. We don't have any political power. We could get some by formalizing laws. Is this good? Oh, remove 4 known factories. That seems like that might be strong. Formalized laws. All this stuff seems like it could be later. Formalized laws. Many of the rules and guidelines we follow in Patagonia weren't attached to any legal framework. However, we can take much of what we established and use to integrate many parts of Argentina. I've been told that laws are good for governing things. Traditionally, that's the case. Haha! Artillery successfully captured! Having chosen to stage an attack on Plaza San Martin, we unfortunately managed to catch the anarchists completely off guard. Expected us to be kilometers away, to be delayed by their barricades long enough for them to reposition the pieces to the eastern area of the Puerto Madero. Capture the artillery pieces now have a massive asset for us to capture the presidential house and use the coordinates given to us from the president's house via radio. Friendly start to cause some heavy casualties to our enemy. Our men shall break through soon enough. I think is what they said. I didn't actually notice. Alright. Alfonsina Storni found dead. And yet another unfortunate row for the sake that the modernist poet Alfonsina Storni has been found dead today. Investigations over the case was quickly concluded as a suicide. There appears to be an epidemic of suicidal... There appears to be an epidemic of suicidal writers. I guess. Anyways, suicide, given statements by her acquaintances, as well as evidence found at residence areas reportedly threw herself off a breakwater in the sea in the town of Mar del Plata. Her body found washed up on the beach by 2 workers. The sun's way to Buenos Aires. Funeral preparations are being prepared by the state as the national newspapers write about the tragic death of the great American poet, while her association with the socialist Manuel Baldormero Ugarte, God, are well known. She was still considered an outsider of the revolutionary movement. Nevertheless, Ugarte has come out writing strongly about her in La Vanguardia, and rumors abound that he has even sent parting gifts for a funeral, further reinforcing the idea that both writers have been close. It's best to leave the public to mourn for now. Okay. Yay. Alright. Battle preparations. Having captured the anarchist artillery in Plaza San Martin while ready to take the offensive to Kaiserreich, the string lord encroaching ever closer to the government south now faces the debacle. Via radio, comrade local commander Vladimir Ovsienko has requested us to attack fast and hard through the Luna Park area. This would open up the encirclements for our troops to flee north, but the area is heavily defended by the anarchists who are quick to realize an attack in the north is going to be inevitable. While we've made a series of barrages in the area, it's clear that their forces are hiding inside the buildings and are taking negligible damage based on our scout reports. Commander Justo, on his end, has proposed for the artillery to support smaller offensives from the Avenida de Mayo, the Avenida Julio Hernández Roca, and the Plaza de Armas, all of them from the opposite direction of the Plaza San Martin. This will ensure our attacks hit the anarchists' weak spots and allow our forces to break through the enemy's lines in a slower yet more methodical way. Regardless of our choices, our forces in the presidential house don't have long for the run. If they are, the chances of our rule surviving are slim. Focus on helping offensive to the south and to the west. Stand by. Hey, never mind. Doesn't matter. Honduras has been annexed. We did it, folks. We're heroes. Situation in Italy, frankly, could be a lot worse. Sub-doctrines. Oh my gosh. Cold weather specialists or elevate the mountaineers. Why, it's mountaineers. Eyes and ears. Making the mountaineers faster versus cold weather specialists. Giving them better cold acclimatization, non-combat air supply, and more soft attack for special forces. Mountaineers have more movement, more initiative, versus them training and making up a smaller portion of the cap, having combat with more defense, supply use, organization, and attack, versus organization and soft attack. I weirdly feel like this is just stronger. Except, yeah, I don't know. I think that will elevate the mountaineers because we're going to be fighting in the mountains. So, I'll elevate the mountaineers. Eyes and ears. That's a Company of Heroes reference. By the way. Not the mountaineers, but the engineers. But the, you know. Anyways. The anarchists collapse. With all our columns stacking the weak spots of the anarchist defenses, we were able to slowly push back the anarchists closer and closer to the Casa Rosada, where they're ultimately forced to break off the encirclement. An anarchist assault via the Luna Park area was attempted to try and retake their guns, but our forces were easily able to hold the line, especially as the new guns found the anarchists exposed without the cover of the collapsed buildings. Losses the anarchists have sustained are too prohibitively costly, and now appears they'll no longer be able to effectively break from their encirclement in Puerto Madero. Now, the last thing remaining is to finish mopping up Severino's forces, but our regime seems all but secure. This is the end for you, Di Giovanni. Oh, hee hee. Uh-oh. Retirements. The communists' final power struggle, with the anarchist forces finally surrendering, and Severino Di Giovanni being taken in for trial. A power struggle has erupted in the ranks of the CUSC, with Chairman Goldie's inaction having almost caused a complete collapse of the revolutionary government to reactionary agents. Justo has raised a successful no-confidence vote within the party, who has withdrawn their support from Goldie in the Congress, having lost all allies and finding no exit. Goldie has opted to resign from his position, leaving the decisions of who will be the new chairman to the majority faction within the TUC. With the USA having been almost completely delegitimized by Di Giovanni's actions, the CUSC has become undoubtedly the majority faction of the TUC, and with power vested in them, they have elected chairman, hero of the recent events, General Libero Justo, to lead the nation for the foreseeable future. After being thrown into office, Justo gave a stirring speech, stating that the Argentine Revolution is only the first step towards the liberation of the proletariat in America from the imperialists. Viva el Secretario, General Justo. Alright. We did it. Elon Musk looking guy is in charge. Did we lose? No one who we put in charge of anything. Alright, we did it. Okay. Rip. Spanish Civil War over. Spanish changed again, but not forever. Our friends are back. Welcome back. Oh, one of the guys we promoted was, I think, the army guy. Whatever. Uruguay wins World Cup. We congratulate the winners. Argentina joke. International Expeditionary Forces. Nestor Mackno is out. See you later, Mr. Mackno. Anyways. International Expeditionary Force leaves Argentina. With the reactionary forces in Argentina, the generals that aided our fledgling military fulfilled their objectives, and the leadership in the Commune of France has recalled them in preparation for the final showdown with Germany. while we will now be left to fend for ourselves, the lessons we've learned with their aid will help us creating an armed force capable of aiding the Internationale with their efforts towards world revolution. Very well. Alright. So, hey, I'm glad we saved Mac Hannerford, because he's, like, one of our best guys now. I feel like Scavenger is probably good, right? Given our, you know, questionable economic situation. Computing machine. Holding Florence is probably in our best interest. The bald man. Alright, what are the wars even happening? Current wars. Civil War, Peru, Bolivian, Paraguayan. Can I break my non-aggression pact? Not till November. That's not too far from now. I'm going to have to probably fight the Peru-Bolivian Confederation, which is a pretty sizable nation. We formalized laws. Look at us. We have to end the chaos. We need to appoint revolutionary bureaucrats and do some other stuff. We need more political power really badly. Let's integrate the old bureaucracy. That'll give us a lot of political power right now. Sounds good. While some would argue that integrating parts of the old Republican system in Argentina would be a mistake, the truth is Argentina had taken a slight pro-worker turn during the last 3 decades, only coming to a grinding halt with the Uriburu coup. As such, there are plenty of agencies that we can simply annex into our current administration. Yay. Makes our life easier. It's a very stalematey situation, as is, I think, pretty normal. Are you launching an assault? Sure, I'll participate. The results aren't what you'd expect, but, you know. Indonesia has capitulated. Tragic. Maybe accelerate some more. Paraguay is slowly but surely being crushed. The Agustin P. Justo trial. As trials against the former regime are ongoing, a curious case has surfaced for the revolutionaries regarding the Argentine general, Agustin P. Justo. Justo, a longtime servant in the Argentine army, has been opposed to the UCR and the LP, but he had still remained compliant to the reactionary regime. While this would normally mean guilty, his son, Liborio, has intervened in his case and argued for his immediate absolution, claiming his father was merely a helpless pawn. In the games of the oligarchy, Liborio explained that it was Augustine who encouraged him to take up arms against the reactionaries. It's Liborio. Ha! That's funny. With the veracity of this account is questioned, there's no denying the jury has gone from a unanimous guilty plea to being open to the prospect of sparing the old general. I am the chairman anyway. If they refuse, I'll release him myself. Nepotism! It exists even in the communists. What a surprise. Alright. More efficiency. More bullet per bullet. The situation is less than ideal. Alright, we've integrated the old bureaucracy, which means we can press more buttons. Integrate the Northern Administration. Rebuild administrative structures. Wonderful. No, we have moved Argentines to the islands. Revolutionary breadbasket would be nice. So let's grab that. Let's see. I think we are. Hardly matters. Argentina has been known for a long time as the granary of the world, with syndicalists in Europe in a warpath against the reactionaries. We need to utilize the strength of our nation to our allies' advantage. Provide them with some much-needed supplies. There's a button we can press. Radio propaganda. Probably want to get an infantry specialist. Seems pretty good. Resistance to occupation. West Indies Union has capitulated. No surprises there. Sacred Union of Tibet declares war on Nepal. That's maybe some surprises. Wait, Bhutan? No. I was going to say, what? How is Bhutan involved? It's not. Line go down. We should probably rebuild the industrial centers. Our economy is maybe kind of not doing super well. Opening of the first labor camps. With the decision of the Congress to open labor camps to deal with reactionaries of the regime, a series of camps were issued to be constructed a few months ago in order to start housing their new inmate population. Now, these camps located in the refactioned prisons of Ushuaia, the former prison of Martin Garcia Island, Sierra Chica, Caronda, Rawson, and Joji. They were then connected to railway infrastructure in order to ease transportation of materials and workers to and from the mines, forests, and quarries. They were finally able to open them as the first wave of inmates reached their residencies. Many newspapers marked this the first step in a new age for Argentina. They shall learn the value of labor now. All right. Probably expropriate the hot bourgeoisie. Well, the nationalization of farm citizen companies has already been part and parcel living in revolutionary Patagonia. The situation up in the north is far different. Vast swaths of land, as well as many industries, are not owned even by Argentine entrepreneurs, but magnates in Germany. This cannot be allowed to stand. And so Congress will authorize the immediate nationalization of these assets. I mean, this is the sort of like basic like nationalist situation. It's like pretty unexpected, or pretty expected. I need to promote somebody to be in charge of this army. Feldman, congratulations on your promotion. I'm going to cancel non-aggression pact and then backstab. Hey, nice. The Reds are dominant in India. That's a big win for us. Victory of the Bharatiya People's Republic. A liberation from below. Huzzah. Maybe not so good situation in, maybe a situation not so good in Italy. So we shall see. Florence has fallen. Though we are actually making progress. Whoa. Lavinia Dam construction project to further boost Cordoba's industrialization process. The local administration has proposed construction of large hydroelectric installation, not only power the region's evolving industry, but also provide irrigation for thousands of acres of agricultural land. The province's main economic engine. Construction is expected to take at least 5 years. It's a long time. But with the appropriate government support, it might be greatly reduced, but at additional expense. Allocate finances. This should pay off in the long run. I like how it doesn't give us a damn. Alright, what is happening? Lisandro de la Torre is found dead. The Partido Popular Democrático's founder, Lisandro de la Torre, has been found dead today in his apartment in Buenos Aires. The progressive... Okay, he's not an author, at least. He's a politician. The progressive politician, having largely taken a harsher stance towards conservatives, the assassination of Enzo Bierre stepped down from public life after the Liga Patriotics coup in hopes of avoiding a political retaliation. However, it seems his own personal life is what got him. In the end, a quick investigation is labeled as arrest as a suicide. Interesting. With him even sending farewell letters to his close friends before shooting himself. He even had a controversial legacy, standing in the middle ground between revolutionaries and conservatives. The public still holds him in high esteem, and many have attended his funeral, possibly thanks to his investigation of German intervention in the meat market, 1933. KN Paz de Conce. What is happening? Why are people... Why is there a rash of suicides? We so don't have infantry equipment. That's so funny. -4? Okay. I'm gonna do this. Frankly, I'm gonna do that. I need bullet. Mexico has declared war on Guatemala, I guess. What? What are you doing? Oh, okay, right. They've gone balmy. I see. Uh-oh. Italian volunteers, red. I don't like that. What's the situation? It's not good. How are there 12? Oh. That's not good. We'll try to hold Genoa. But, I don't know how much we're going to be able to do here. Expropriate the hot bourgeoisie. We could do that. Education reform would give us a research slot, which we desperately need. Further social revolution is also really good. Nice. Create the CSE. One of the major threats to our nation, that our nation now faces, is foreign subversion. So many nations looking at us with evil intentions. We must stand fast to repel their efforts of deceit and treachery. For that, we'll need to create an agency which will take care of such matters. And so we shall create the Committee para la Seguridad del Estado. There's an interesting thing happening here, where the ANI is getting kind of tracked. I feel like the pivot point here is Ravenna. Seems a little weird, but I actually think that's, to me, strikes me as like the critical pivot. Losing Ravenna will, well, actually, say allow these forces to link up, but I'm like actually not sure that's even true. So I'm gonna go like here. How are we doing in America? Apparently we've lost supply. What just happened? Apparently there's been an immense breakthrough of some description. What? How did that happen? Okay, I mean, I'm not complaining. Nicaragua declared war on Guatemala. Okay. Poland has joined the Donau-Adria-Bund. Okay. Hey, there's still an independent Yucatan, guys. How many forces can I send? Forces or horses? Honestly, just more org is more good. And this is more org, so less supply? Sure, I suppose. Hey, how are we doing? I would love to deploy more guys. How are we doing on guns? We have no guns. Great. I guess I'll train one mountain infantry, I guess. I don't think I need militia. Thanks. Infantry division. We'll get to you. Yeah. Call this infantry. Give them engineers. Nah. Either way. We do need to start training more guys. Okay. And you know what? With that, I will see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.